Hi, so this is second episode of the Entity Framework Core series, and in our first episode we have created a sample console application for code first approach, and we have created a simple DB context for our blog post and comments, and we finally consume that DB context inside our main method in program.cs file. So today what we are going to do is we are going to make this configuration more dynamic, because you can see that this is hard-coded string. So this is good to work in this way in development environment, but not recommended, and especially when our code goes to production. This is not at all recommended. This is very bad approach. So it should be configurable without changing the code. It should be, this connection string should be picked from a config file, so that if we want to change our uh, deployment environment, we just need to change this string inside our config file. So in this episode we will remove this dependency, this hardcode dependency, and this is the very basics of entity framework code, that they should be configurable. So what we will going to do is, there are certain approaches. So first and simple approach is just replace this line with dynamic string, which will be come from our app setting.json file. So let's do it. So for that one I will add configuration, right, and I will going to use this one, configuration builder. We were going to use this configuration builder inside this configuration builder configuration. Let me say it config builder dot right. And for this one we need to support JSON file, we need to add another package, which will be Microsoft configuration. Let me show you the package, and the package name is microsoft.extensions.configuration.json. it will support over JSON configuration file, right? So let me install that one straight away. Let's go back to our context class, and here we will just give the name of our dot JSON file, right? Configuration builder dot build, and this method will going to give us configuration. We can use configuration and configuration root, any of the interface. So the final thing is, let's copy paste this connection string from here to the app setting.json file, right? So but before that, let's complete this implementation, and here we will going to use the get connection string, and we will name here our connection string key name, which will be, let's say, default connection string, right? Okay, so you can see that now there is no hardcode thing, everything is dynamic. So to support this configuration file, let's add this file into the project. For that one I am going to add app settings.json, right, and we will add a property here which will be connection strings, right, and each connection strings property will going to have let's say default connection string like this, and let's paste that connection string here, right. So apps, okay, I think the extension was misspelled, so it's now fine. You can see that we have a connection strings property which is having default connection string key, and we have assigned this to our connection string value. And this is reserved, we have to use this one to access our connection strings, right. So the next thing is just run this program once to see if everything works fine, and let me tell you that there will be an error. Let's see what that error is. Okay, so it's saying that the configuration file app settings.json was not found, right. So why it is saying that? Because for our files other than our programming files, these files should be copied to our build folder, right. If you select this file, you can see that there is a property copy to output directory, so we need to make sure we use any of these two options. So I will choose copy if newer. Okay, only the updated copy will be placed, otherwise it will not be replaced, right. Now let's rerun the program again. Now you can see that it works fine, right. To just to see it's adding record properly, let's query our database. The tool list is saying it should be supported, right. So we need to put await here, and let's change this variable to posts, and next thing will be we need to iterate those posts to show the results. For each it's supported. Let me output that post title, and for that I will going to use string interpolation, right. Let's give it a run once, so that how many posts are there. So you can see that there are 1 2 3 4 posts right now. Let's rerun again. Now there should be 5 posts, 1 2 3 4 5, right. So it's working fine. So this is how we can make our Entity Framework Core implementation dynamic. Best approach. In next episode we will see that how we can query the DB context in more better way. So we will see that how to create objects and how to register objects into dependency injection, how to pull those objects where required. so we will no longer require to new the classes for creating those objects. So that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. We'll see in the next tutorial. Bye bye.